Hey guys, Darrell Addison at torpedopont.com. Darrell Addison at torpedopont.com, and you're looking at our tomato planters. Aren't they beautiful? You're looking at about 30 tomatoes on this one planter, and they are doing fantastic. I mean, doing absolutely superb. And they're hitting all over the place. You wouldn't see them unless you really intentionally wanted to notice them. This a spectacle that no one gets an opportunity to see. Look at these tomatoes. Now I want you to pay close attention, please, family, and how perfect they are. You don't see any blemishes, and you don't see any death in the pot at all. And all the limbs and leaves and branching are all green. They're healthy. Even this one plant that we have and not getting very little sunlight is doing exceptionally well. And it is producing serious tomatoes. And they also have no blemishes on them. Okay, but that's not the point of my video this morning. The point of this video is to get you now to look at exactly how many tomatoes are actually growing and what the yield's really going to be. So we're going to pick one tomato plant. They all look so good, and they are yielding so many tomatoes. Will you look at that? Man, that looks like a supermarket. That looks like a divine supermarket. Look at those clusters back there. Isn't that beautiful? Man, unbelievable, all over the place. Clusters of tomatoes. All right, so my point today is to go in, take a look at these clusters. Now I got to pick one plant, and I'm going to, well, one planter, and I'm going to count the tomatoes inside of these planters. Okay, now, we counted them before, but I'm going to take this one right here. It's easy, it's straightforward, and we're going to count these tomatoes. See if we can get ourselves a nice count on these things. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Make sure I get a hold on this. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 in the back. All right, so let's say we have 19. Oh, we have them up here too. I forgot about that. 19, 20, 21. Let's see if we can get you guys to see that. 20, 21. Okay, so let's say we have 21 tomatoes. I think it's total of 23. Let's say we have 21 tomatoes here. Now, we know that we're going to have more. So now what we're going to do is count the flowers, okay? Because they will produce more tomatoes. All right, let's take a, this is gonna be tough, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put my glasses on to make sure I can see this stuff. 6, 7. I don't know if these are breaking off or producing. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 19, 20, 21. I think that's 22, 22, 23, 24, 25, let's see, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, this is where it gets a little rough in here, 34, let's see, and I'm gonna stop at 34, oh, 35 to 67, 30, 39, so 39, little baby there, 40. So let's say there's 40 blossoms, and let's say there's about, I don't know, 30 tomatoes. Okay, so if we're able to hit, I'm going to see if I can push this to about 100 tomatoes. Now, in order for my tomatoes to continue to be healthy, you have to find out what type of crop you want. Do you want a crop that is yielding tomatoes all over the place? Do you want an early harvest? Do you want to store your tomatoes? Do you want to sacrifice the bottom tomatoes to give the top of the plant enough energy to blossom for the rest of the tomatoes? First, before we start answering those questions, just make sure we understand how plants grow. So we have to ask ourselves, how is it that we're able to get so many tomatoes on one plant? And how is it that we can do it in one area? And so we have to understand how they grow. So we're getting all of this mass on these tomatoes. And a lot of us say, hey, listen, but the soil's only reducing itself by at least 2 inches in this planter. So how is all of that being converted to this? Well, remember we talked about the ecosystem, how one system supports another? Well, in this case, the soil in the planter provides the nutrition. But the mass of the plant, a lot of people think that the water in the plant is what allows the plant to grow really tall and big. Man, look at all these clusters down there. And create the magic. And that's create a finished product, which is tremendous tomatoes. And a lot of people really do believe that. But I'm gonna take a step back. Yes, it is true that this plant is about 90-something% water, no question about it. And the nutrition that it's getting from the soil is coming up through the plant, and that's causing the blossom and the blooming. But you know what's giving the tomato most of its mass? It's the air, the carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide, the CO2 from the air, is what's expanding this tomato. That's why if you don't have good air circulation, your tomatoes will choke and they will die. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that one just taking off. Man, that's gorgeous. Man, it looks so healthy and so great. Yeah, your tomatoes will die. So the exchange of that CO2, it steals that carbon from the air and releases water. And when it makes that exchange, that's where you get all of this growth that comes from. All of this growth comes from it. So I wanted to share that with you because that's why pruning your plants and cutting back, not necessarily that dead. Nothing on this plant is dead, nor was it dying. But if I did not cut back these plants, the amount of air circulating to give them what they need to have would be reduced. And I don't want that to happen. I want them to get as much as possible from their environment. And that's one of the reasons why they're doing good. So not only do you have the leaves that are collecting energy, but you have the tomatoes themselves that are collecting energy. And they're also part now of this system. And they've been doing so well. So understand that cutting back underperforming or cutting back performing leaves sometimes can be simply totally justifiable. Okay? Darryl Addison at torpedopot.com. Darryl Addison at torpedopot.com. I've already picked 12 tomatoes off these planters. I'm trying to save them for you guys, but I'm going to tell you something. I am always going to tell you, always grow for your needs. Your needs. So if you're hungry, don't grow plants that you feel you won't be able to eat until the end of the year or when harvest comes. I want you to get away from that. I want you to be able to go outside. Look how many blossoms this thing has on it. 1. These set of blossoms. 2, 3, 4. I mean, they just keep coming. This is amazing. And I love the way they keep coming. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. So I want you to be able to eat off your tomatoes and your plants 24 hours a day. Do not save some from Mother Nature. pick out what you need, and then move on. Let the other ones continue to grow. Because if you don't pick them, they'll sit here, okay? They're going to take energy from the plant that may be used to develop other little baby tomatoes, okay? And that's what you want to be careful about as you start to design your growing area. Darryl Addison at torpedopot.com. Darryl Addison at torpedopot.com, where we manufacture self-growing planters that grows your food for you. That's what's happening here. I don't come out, I don't water these tomatoes. As a matter of fact, if I watered these tomatoes above the ground, you would see a lot of fungus and root rot at the base of the tomatoes. You see, we don't have that here. We don't have that problem. All of that is eliminated. Darryl Addison, torpedopot.com. Darryl Addison, torpedopot.com.